I think we just fell off. I think people just moved on.
I didn't even know we could see how many people were watching.
This guy says in the chat that filtering is happening on Twitter, but not here. Are you sure we're on YouTube, CJ?
This is crazy.
I think you all have access to this as well. When you go top right, you see.
I'm going to kick Spike out of the room.
What the hell? Charlie says filtering happening on Twitter. Oh, there we go. I don't know. Is it working now?
When you guys look at top right of the screen, you see the YouTube, the Twitch, and the Twitter icon.
Oh, yeah.
As admins now?
Yeah, but it wasn't working.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
But so if you click on the YouTube, it'll say you are live under it. And it has that green check next to it.
Yep.
Yeah, but there was something wrong.
Maybe I kick Spike out of producing.
that should fix the problem.
Well, now we got to give it another 30 seconds because there's something. Our filtering wasn't working because our producer wasn't producing anything.
How about this, guys? Bang!
All right, we're not doing that during the show. We are not doing that during the show.
Bang!
There we go.
We need a little switch up. Yeah. I'm on. If I open YouTube, I see that we are.
Yeah,
live.
I see that we're live now. But if I believe the chat. That's all I'm saying is I'm on the side of the chat, not CJ. In this,
I think the chat specifically, one Ben Maggio's. They're a bunch of liars sometimes when they want to be.
Oh wow!
They want to get the attention on them. They want to feel included. So they
CJ versus the chat.
Yeah.
How do I look at private chat?
That's you had that before,
it's a separate
right?
thing. Yeah, but it was a different layout. Okay.
So now you can like pull up like the video, the intro video. You can like pull up the sponsor, lower thirds.
Oh Jesus Christ!
You can add like when Kyle.
I'm not going to talk
something out after.
I'm not going to talk. I'm going to futz. I'm just going to futz around.
This is great.
That'll be fun.
All right, let's go. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Sign up for DraftKings Sportsbook by using promo code RTRS and brought to you by Kornblau and Kornblau, the official law firm of The Process. BodyBio. Get 20% off Gut Plus, Elite, or anything else at bodybio.com with code FIRECJ, which is apropos today. LL Pavorsky Jewelers, where Rights to Ricky Sanchez listeners go and get engaged, and Kinetic Skateboarding. Get 9.1% off your first order with promo code Dave Silver. On the show today, the dunk contest trophy is in its rightful place in Philadelphia. After 17 years, McClung wins it just days after actually signing for the Sixers with the Sixers. So we will talk about the huge victory for McClung as well. The Sixers are rumored to be, quote, talking to Kevin Love, who is officially bought out or will be bought out by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Some grades at the All-Star break, and of course, the Ringer Top 100. If you're watching on YouTube and CJ has successfully gotten it on YouTube, please remember to subscribe if you haven't already. I think like 40% of the people that watch this on YouTube aren't subscribed, so subscribe. It helps us out. Also, Live Ricky 5 Victory Tour featuring us and Paul Reed is April 9th at Underground Arts. Pre-sale is Wednesday at 10 a.m. To get the pre-sale password, you must go and sign up for the newsletter at rightstoRickySanchez.com/newsletter. We said B-Ball Paul will be there. Eliza Hardy-Jones of War on Drugs will be there to perform Imagine the Process. And just confirmed, our very own Mutlu will be our house artist. We'll perform his Trevelyan Queen song, but we'll also be on stage for the entire show when we need musical interludes. Our good friend Mutlu, mutlusounds.com. Again, pre-sale is Wednesday. And I did mention Kinetic Skateboarding. It has been a mild winter, but every time you say that, you're just inviting a harsh blast of cold winter. And that is great for snowboarding. If you need a brand new snowboard, Kinetic Skateboarding is where you go. I know it says skateboarding, but snowboarding too. And if you buy a brand new snowboard from Kinetic, free tunes for life. If you're not a snowboarder, it's okay. They have lots of clothes, sneakers, hoodies, t-shirts, hats, anything you could possibly want. Go to kineticskateboarding.com and use promo code Dave Silver for 9.1% off your first order. Without any further ado, Amos and the chef.
Larry, sweetie, the man is here.
Say the name, I say the name, I say the name. We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We was right. right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We were right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. Say the name.
Rights to Ricky Sanchez forever.
Welcome to the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. I'm Spike Gaskin, along with a guy ready to celebrate Dwight Howard, scoring 84 points, grabbing 37 rebounds, and having 14 blocks in one game in Taiwan. That is one Mike Levin.
That's great. There should be like a league somewhere in the world that is just former Sixer backups.
Yes.
That ended their career here because they couldn't play anywhere else. So I'm so happy for Dwight Howard. Good for him.
The Troyuan Leopards, 84 points, 37 rebounds, 9 assists, 14 blocks. He must be awesome watching him in that.
Yeah, that's got to be sick. And he's got to be having a blast.
So Mac McClung has been on the G League Bluecoats the entire season, has had a great season. I think he's shooting like 50% from three. And there have been some people who have emailed us. We need to talk about Mac McClung. We need to talk about Mac McClung, but we haven't. So the Sixers signed him to a two-way deal, and it is announced that he is going to participate in the dunk contest.
Out of order.
Oh, right. Dunk contest, then the two-way deal. Right. Yeah. And I think there were even rumors or unconfirmed reports that he would be in the dunk contest like 10 days ago, even though it was officially announced this week. I thought I had heard it like a week and a half ago that he was going to be in it. I'm pretty sure because I know people have asked him about it. So as you mentioned on the last pod, Mac McClung does have a history of being an internet sensation with dunks. He did have the advantage going into the dunk contest that he's a little white guy. And there is something about seeing somebody that you don't expect being able to dunking like that, going into it. The
white thing is one factor, and also the size thing is a factor. Anytime it's they are two valid, unexpected things to be happening. And definitely, he was the smallest one out there by like 6 inches or something. So it was a stark.
And he's got like he's got like Dennis the Menace haircut. Like there's nothing about him that screams he's going to be able to dunk like that. He was, sometimes in your life when you're presented with an opportunity and you just perform in a perfect way. And he was, I know he got 149 from Lisa Leslie on one of the dunks. He was perfect. He performed in a perfect way in that dunk contest. I was watching it this morning. I was out to dinner with my wife last night, so I didn't watch it live. I'll watch it this morning. Mike, I swear to you, my eyes were welling up when I was watching this morning because he just fucking nailed it. He nailed it. He deserved to win. And he was great. And talk about being a folk hero as far as the Sixers go. But he was fucking awesome. He was great. I'm so excited that he won it.
Yeah, I mean that is what he does. Like he's been this guy doing this thing. Like you can imagine him fucking around with his friends when he was like 14, doing this shit. And for him to nail it is cool, and it's good for him. And the thing that I like, that if we can harken back to the Nate Robinson, Andre Iguodala dunk contest, is McClung went 4 for 4.
Yes, he
didn't waste any time.
Nope.
He wasn't like testing out some lobs.
Yep.
It was stand here when he jumped over the guys, and it was like where is he gonna like take off from? And he just nailed it 4 for 4, and that is absolutely something worth respecting, because it's such a letdown when they miss.
Yep.
Or when they like have to do a do-over. Sometimes like if the lob's not right, that can like build anticipation. But if you jump and try to execute a dunk and you miss, and then you get it like on the second or third time, it's just like
it's not the same.
It's not the same. The juice is gone. And then when the judges still give you like a high score, then you're just like, well, not really. but the fact that he went 4 for 4 is like that. That to me is the most impressive thing. And he can jump. He has really good body control up there. And there's like it's a combination of like power and like quickness. Like his spins were like fast.
Yep,
they were tight and fast, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean he was very good. They did utilize a scoring system that I was asking for.
So that was the top thing in my notes was they used Mike's scoring system.
They utilized it, which on the last podcast I said it shouldn't be the judges giving out scores 6 to 10. It should be judges giving out scores out of 50 and then they average them. That is exactly what happened. However, they still didn't utilize them correctly because now that you have this power,
you don't have to give everybody a 49 every time.
You don't have to give everybody a fucking 49. If you can choose, like the difference between giving someone a 9 and a 10 when you're holding up signs by yourself is massive. That's huge. That's 5 points, arguably, because then if everybody's doing it, it could be weighted. Whereas if you're giving someone out of 50, you have much more like, I'm going to give them the score I think that they deserve. And 50s should be rare.
Yes.
It should be one of the best dunks you've ever seen. Like I'll give you like if you give something a 50, it can be like one of the like, let's even be generous, 20 best dunk contest dunks you've ever seen. And they just too easily are like, there it is. He dunked it.
Can I make a suggestion?
They should be much more judicious about it. And now that they have the opportunity to it, thanks to utilizing my scoring system, everybody's need to like calm down. And it's got to be like a 47 should be very good. It should be it's a very good dunk. That's very impressive. But you shouldn't be throwing out 50s.
Because it's a 9.4. It's a 9.4.
That's super nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
To your point, they've gone from having the difference between a 9 and a 10 being massive to now the difference between a 49 and a 50 being almost nothing. Here is a fix that I'm going to suggest. You can tell us who the judges are, but how about you don't tell us what their scores are and give them a little bit of cover to be able to give somebody a score that is lower without everybody getting hated on for doing it. Either cover up who's giving what score or get some fucking judges out there with some guts that are willing to say, hey, nice dunk, but it was a 42.
Yeah. And then like yes. Good for Lisa Leslie sometimes for sure. Like I just don't think that people are thinking about it that much.
No, but they should.
And that's I think a thing that I run into frequently where I think something should be changed. And if we all like got together and discussed it, then it should be like, hey, this could be improved in these ways. And then a bunch of people are like, man, it's the dunk contest. Shut the fuck up. And it's like, I get that. But if we're going to do it, why not put some thought into it? And the thought here should be the 50s are the best dunk, some of the best dunks you've ever seen. And we shouldn't just be giving those out willy-nilly. And some of those judges, they're willy-nilly. And
to jump back on your initial point about this is what Mac McClung does, but the getting the dunk, I 100% agree. Nailing each dunk, no time, kept the momentum, all that stuff. It does totally pull momentum away when you miss them, even if you nail it, or even if you don't miss it, even if you have to throw it against the backboard a couple of times. And I feel like even though he wasn't in the finals, even though Kenyon Martin wasn't in the finals, I think a perfect example of that is that it looked like when he was using his dad, which was cool, they had never talked about it before.
Yeah. There was a report before that said that his dad doesn't know the dunk that he's doing. And I was like,
right.
Well, that's dumb. That's a mistake.
There's no way Mac McClung would have gone into that without having talked to the guy before it.
No, he's had this plan since he was 16.
Yeah. And he fucking nailed it, man. And
the tap against the back, tap against the backboard.
Now. Sorry, he's got to play.
Well, we'll get there.
Okay.
So the tap against the back, off the back head tap against the backboard was awesome. That was very cool. That's a unique dunk.
And I didn't see it, by the way, the first time he did it. I didn't see that he had tapped the backboard with the ball.
Yeah, I like a dunk where you have to. You're like, that was interesting, and then you see it in slow motion. You're like, oh, that was incredibly impressive. The double pump was pretty cool. And then I mean he just flies around. The spin, the swiftness of his spin to turn around that fast, and also throw it down with ferocity was good. He did a really good job. I found it very interesting that there were absolutely 0 Sixers there to mob him. There was not one
Giannis
Sixers
is
teammate,
mobbing him. Donovan Mitchell is mobbing
which
him.
is so cool for him. Like how
Yes.
like he's playing in the G League. He's playing in Delaware. He's trying to scrap his way to like playing legitimate NBA minutes. And now he's got like all these like superstars
Meanwhile,
jumping on him.
Embiid's can't just not there yet.
Embiid's not there yet. Maxi's tweeting from home, calling him teammate. Harden's in Phoenix. Nobody's there, and even if they were there, they'd be like, we haven't met.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny. It really is like this is the Sixers' first dunk contest winner ever, and that it's wild to think about that, to think about how many like powerful dunkers that they've had, and to never. I mean, I'm still mad about Iguodala. This doesn't. People say this is avenged. Like I'll never not be mad about Iguodala losing. That was a joke.
Something tells me Iguodala doesn't find it to be revenge either.
No,
He really doesn't care.
No.
We'll get to him. Hang on one second. We'll get to him and his potential for playing for the Sixers, which, oh boy, that's going to be fun. Right after we talk about Kornblau and Kornblau, the official law firm of the process. If Andre is still mad about not getting the dunk contest, perhaps he should call Kornblau, right?
Yes.
Kornblau was a counselor when you were at camp. Is that it? At the same time, junior counselor, maybe
something
also,
like that.
Also, Adam Lefkoe, I believe, at that camp, or played basketball against Adam Lefkoe. Anyway, Kornblau and Kornblau is the official law firm of the process. You need a personal injury lawyer who isn't some billboard TV commercial huckster.
It's a podcast huckster.
Yes. You see those commercials, you see those billboards, you call that huckster, and you're just getting sent to another law firm. They're just referral services. Kornblau and Kornblau, it's a real law firm. You call Kornblau, you're getting a Kornblau, not some, person on a headset mic that's sending you to, wherever. Kornblau and Kornblau been in business for 4 decades, getting some of the biggest medical malpractice results in southeastern PA, the premier boutique personal injury law firm in Pennsylvania. That's where you got to go. Got offices all over the area, but will come to your home. Kornblau will. When I say Kornblau, I mean Adam in this specific one, even though there are a few of them there. His parents started the law firm. He runs it now with his mom. I did mention medical malpractice, which is their specialty, but any personal injury, slip and fall, injured at work, car accident, any of those things.
Dunk contest.
What's that?
Dunk
contest. And as we've mentioned several times, even though personal injury is a specialty, if you're a Ricky listener, he's going to help you. You have any sort of legal problem, he might not be able to represent you, but he's the one you can go to for advice. When you have any sort of issue like that, you want to be able to have a guy. I got a guy. Kornblau will take care of you. If you think you might have a case, give him a call or shoot him an email. It doesn't cost you anything. 215-576-7200. Ask for Adam. Email Kornblau at kornblau.com. And Kornblau is the official sponsor of the VIP ticket for Live Ricky 5. It is the Kornblau VIP, which includes drink tickets, photo with B-Ball Paul, commemorative item, which we believe will be a t-shirt, preferred seating, all that. Kornblau. Kornblau and Kornblau, the official law firm of the process. I think my favorite dunk of his was the 540 at the end. I just thought it was such a stamp on it. And you mentioned his spins are like quick. I think that is another thing where the advantage of his size, because a spin like that for like Jericho Sims, I thought sucked. But if Jericho Sims does a spin like that, it doesn't look the same way as it does when McClung does it.
Yeah. I thought we can get back to McClung for the Sixers, but it's pretty embarrassing for everybody for how good the league is.
Yeah.
That more good players don't do the dunk contest.
But they're scared.
Which is just bizarre. It's just not a it's not like something that you would associate with the league. It's like this is the only thing that like people are like very openly scared of. It's pretty bizarre. When you can go like I'll team up with anybody. They'll talk shit. They'll wear whatever whatever Kuzma wears into the tunnel. Like there's like the dunk contest is the only thing where people seem like legitimately scared about. And so there's been guys over the last like decade, not just since, Michael and Dominique and then Kobe and whatever. There's been guys over the last decade. Obviously LeBron never doing the dunk contest is like one of the biggest things. One of the like tide turning of like,
yeah,
oh, superstars don't have to do this, or this is something that it's okay to be like, I'm not doing that. And then John Morant last night said he's not doing it. But like, Donovan Mitchell has done it. Dwight Howard, when he was good, did it. Zach LaVine.
Giannis did it.
Did Giannis do it?
Yeah, Giannis was in the dunk. He was not great, but he was in the dunk contest.
But it's a lot of times when guys are like very young before they really like pop. But yeah, it seems like something that more people should be embarrassed about, that we have to go to like Jericho Sims, who's like a fine player and like throws down some powerful in-game dunks and stuff. But like there should be, the league has never been better, like as far as talent goes, as far as like athleticism goes. And these guys are doing, they do these dunks anyway, like in warm-ups and practice, like showing off, fucking around. It's not like they're like so concerned about their bodies about not doing these kinds of dunks. It just seems like, come on. But maybe somebody tries to take it personal that McClung won this year and wants to come next year and take it off a G Leaguer. I don't know. But well, every year someone is saving the dunk contest, and it's nice that McClung had a good night because the other guys weren't very impressive and didn't have much like charisma to them. Not that McClung did, but it just seems like there used to be more, like when Vince Carter was doing it, there used to be more like, I don't know, excitement about it, and these guys were magnetic, and Jericho Sims looking like the least magnetic person in the world, where he was just like frowning the whole time and not even trying to look like he's having a good time and that he's pumping up the crowd.
Two things about that to wrap up that part of it. The first thing is, I don't know if you remember when they tried about them being afraid of looking bad. I don't know if you remember when they tried horse, not pandemic horse, but they tried horse at the NBA All-Star game.
Yeah.
And the players look like only half in. And part of it is because they didn't want to be the one that missed or look silly. And it's just like, it is a huge part of it that no one wants to not look good, and it prevents them from looking great. Like
but
winning
it doesn't apply to the 3-point contest.
No, it doesn't. But I don't think that anyone thinks if you miss a bunch of threes that you look silly. They just sort of walk away. I don't know. There is something about, but it does have the ability to launch you. Winning the dunk contest in an impressive way can honestly change the course of your career. It doesn't for everybody, but it can. And the last thing I will say is that what Mac McClung proved is that I just don't want to hear anymore there are no more dunks to do. I don't want to hear it. If you dunk awesome, people will love it. It doesn't have to be particularly different. Mac McClung said that a couple of them nobody's ever done before. I don't know if anybody's done those dunks. People have certainly jumped over people before. But you know what? We watch basketball games every day with people doing something that happened a billion times before. It doesn't have to be that there's figure skating where they're doing things that are done a million times before. There's gymnastics. It doesn't need to have never been done before. It just needs to be done well and with passion, and people will cheer. And I thought Mac McClung proved that. We did get a couple of good Mac McClung voicemails. This one I liked the best. 833 Lickface is where you can leave us a voicemail.
Hi, Jack. First-time caller, long-time listener. A few things.
Let's do that louder. There we go.
Hi, Jack. First-time caller, long-time listener. A few things. I love Mac, and I love this day for him. Congratulations for him. Can I say one thing? Daryl going to Twitter and grandstanding and pretending like he's the omniscient, I knew exactly what was going to happen. This was the plan. You know what, Daryl? Go fuck yourself, okay? We all know you just did this so that you can tamper next year. Don't fuck with us. Don't be doing that. No. We see it. We see it, Daryl. Having said that, congrats to Mac. Love the pod.
Yeah, I mean,
no victory tour for Daryl. No victory tour for Daryl.
No, certainly not. And like what this did feel like, obviously Philadelphia has had a long run recently of finishing in second place. The Eagles, the Union, the Phillies.
Yep.
And so this, even though Mac McClung was wearing a Sixers jersey on an NBA court for the first time when he won the dunk contest, it does feel at least like, okay, the seal has been broken.
Yeah.
A Philadelphia team can win something. Look, as much as I would love to say that Doc needs to play Mac McClung,
he does.
He's earned spots in the 2A. They deserve to give him a look. They deserve to like run him out there here and there. I would love to. No one is a bigger defender of 2As and G League guys contributing than I am. He's not good.
No, I got to see it. I'm sorry.
He's not a good basketball player.
You deserve it.
There's almost nothing that he's good at.
No, he's a good shooter.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He isn't.
All of his stats indicate he's a good shooter.
He's not a good shooter.
No, I need to see him. He's
not a good shooter. He's not a good ball handler. He's not a good passer. He's not. He can't hold up defensively.
No.
He could get you. He could sky for a rebound here and there, but I watched him at Georgetown. I watched him at Texas Tech. He's just not that good. Look, if we want to give Doc's not going to play. Doc's not going to play 2-way guys anyway, so I think he's earned a lifetime 2-way contract with the Sixers. I think that's fine. Let's just we will budget one of those 2 ways to always be Mac McClung. Great. He can go in the dunk contest. He can play in garbage time. Fine. Doc's not going to do it anyway, so that's fine. But no, he's not.
Sorry,
he's not an NBA player.
Need to see him on the court. We've had plenty of non-NBA players. We have Montrezl Harrell playing fucking 12 minutes a game. I need to see Mac McClung a little bit. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I need to see it.
Not in any meaningful place. He isn't good.
No, he might be.
he's not.
I'm sorry.
He's also, isn't he? How old is he? 24, 25?
I don't know. Still younger than Matisse Thybulle, probably.
How old is 3 years in college. 24.
Yeah.
He's 24. Yeah. He's just not. He's 6'2". He's just not that good. I wish he was good. I would love to say that Doc should fucking play this guy. But no.
No.
He should. Play Lewis King. Lewis King for sure. Give Lewis King some run. But no, Mac is bad.
No, Mac is good. Mac should play for the Sixers at least until I believe Mac is good until proven otherwise. I want to see him play for the Sixers. Okay, look, he's a Sixer. He can't be worse than Julian Champagny. He can't be worse.
Who also didn't play.
Yeah, well, that's the fair point. But any minute that you were going to give Jaden Springer, give it to Mac McClung, at least for
absolutely not.
Game. Yeah,
absolutely not. If that happens, I'll be so upset. If that happens, if Doc plays Mac McClung over Jaden Springer when he's there,
mm-hmm.
I will be fuming. I will be so upset because he's gonna do that. That is something that Doc would do. He's gonna play a 2-way guy because he won a dunk contest and thinks that it's such a good 75-year-old guy decision to make. Well, he's got something. Show me something. Come on. How old is Doc?
I don't know.
I don't think he's actually 75, but
no. He's like,
but he carries himself like a 75.
Right? He's like 60.
He's 61.
There you go.
He's not good. I wish he was good, man. I'm dying. I would. No one would want a 2-way guy to be good more than me, but he's just not good. He's not a good basketball player. He's a great dunker.
I feel like you're saying that because he's white. I feel
it's not the case. I watched a lot of Mac McClung. I watched him before. I watched him in YouTube videos beforehand. I was like, okay, I was excited to see him coming to Georgetown. It's cool that he's a guy from Virginia who broke Iverson's scoring record, who then went to Georgetown. That's cool. But he's just he wasn't good at Georgetown. He went to Texas Tech, and he wasn't good at Texas Tech. That's why he didn't get drafted. He's not that good.
Speaking of not that good, we'll talk about Kevin Love in a second. Before we do, BodyBio. They've got a lot of great products. BodyBio, bodybio.com. Family owned and operated right there in South Jersey. BodyBio Mike went to fly the process, watch me run on the treadmill, which still hasn't been examined. One of the things or watch me sing on the treadmill rather. One of the things that CJ is mystified by, along with my shampooing schedule.
I can see CJ nodding now.
Yeah. BodyBio.com. The two products we've talked to you about the most, they've got a ton of them, are Gut Plus and Elite. Elite is the simple way to stay perfectly hydrated. You might think, well, I drink water all the time. It's not just about water. It's about electrolytes and the proper mix of that with water. And the great thing about Elite is it's electrolytes that doesn't come with artificial flavors or artificial colors or sugar or any of that. It's just straight up electrolytes in a bottle. You put a little of it in the morning or in the evening in whatever you drink. Keeps you hydrated perfectly. Got rid of all the cramping problems. I had my calves, I had my thighs, I had in my feet. The foot one would happen while I was driving, which was fucking terrible. Doesn't happen anymore. And then there's Gut Plus, the only gut supplement you need. Mike is an advocate of Gut Plus.
Yeah.
If you're taking a gut supplement, if you're taking probiotic or something, I'm not telling you specifically what to do. I'm telling you what Gut Plus could do. The thing about probiotics is your body does produce them. And what Gut Plus does is it allows your body to produce the natural probiotics better. It gets rid of the bad bacteria. It's a prebiotic. Gets rid of the bad bacteria, allows your body to produce more of the probiotics that are specifically good for your body. And then a postbiotic in Gut Plus, which gets rid of all that stuff that you're taking the gut supplement for. It gets rid of the bloat, makes you more regular, all that kind of stuff. You can take
it's done wonders on my duties.
Wonders on your duties. That's what they should use as advertising.
Absolutely.
Gut Plus. Go to bodybio.com. Use code FIRECJ. All one word, FIRECJ, for 20% off anything at bodybio.com. That is code FIRECJ. Just try it to see if it works right now. On Gut Plus, Elite, or anything else at bodybio.com. And not just your first order, any order. Go to bodybio.com and use code FIRECJ for 20% off. Well, congratulations to Mac McClung, even though Mike just shit all over him right at the end of the pod. Like, just unfortunate. Really
some people have one really good skill. It's unfortunate that Mac McClung's skill is a basketball skill that's not necessarily an NBA one.
Shooting 50% from three. 50,
he isn't.
He is.
I'm
pretty sure he is.
I looked at his his basketball reference page for G League, and it was not.
No, I think he is. He's only playing 29 minutes a game or something. But
he's shooting this season. He's shooting 32% from three.
I don't think
basketball reference G League on 4 attempts per game.
Nah, that's wrong.
I don't know. That's what basketball reference says.
All right. So Kevin Love is,
if he was shooting 50% from three, I would consider feeling differently, but he's not a good shooter.
No.
He's not a good ball handler.
Nope.
He's not doing much.
Nope.
He
completely
can get
wrong.
Mid-range.
Doc, turn off the pod. We don't even talk about you anymore in this pod. I promise. Kevin Love either has been bought out or will be bought out by the Cleveland Cavaliers, as per Shams Charania. Kevin Love has not played, I think he's been DNPs for the last 15 games or something like that. He is shooting 39% from the field this year, 35% from three, yada, yada, yada. It seems likely that he will go to the Heat, but there was a report that he will talk to the Sixers before going to the Heat.
Which is funny wording.
We'll talk to, right? We have reports in the chat, by the way, that he is shooting 50% from three, and then you're wrong. So I mean,
look, talk to somebody about basketball reference.
Basketball reference based in Philadelphia, by the way. Kevin Love can't play center. Certainly not in the playoffs. Kevin Love is probably cooked. And I just don't know that he's getting minutes over Harris or Tucker or even Yang at this point. And my guess is he wants to go somewhere where he knows he's going to play. There's a world in which 3 years ago or 2 years ago that Kevin Love as a 4 right next to Embiid in that Ilyasova launch threes, rebound sort of role would be fine. I just don't think they have the minutes for him here. And I don't think he'll be here anyway. And unable to play center also makes it real tough.
Real knife in my back mentioning Ilyasova.
Sorry.
At least he didn't mention it. It's actually, he's fine. It's really just saying Ilyasova and Bellinelli
yes.
Yeah. The thing with Kevin Love, and who knows if he's washed. He could be washed. He had a couple decent games this year during some injury stuff for the Cavs.
It does seem weird that the one thing that they're missing from their bigs is shooting threes, and he theoretically would be able to play with any of them, and they haven't found a spot with any of them. Is weird.
Yeah, I mean, yes. So the thing that Kevin Love does very well, in addition to shooting threes, is rebound. He's still an incredible rebounder.
Mm-hmm.
The Sixers are not a good rebounding team. If you put, I don't think that there exists a on the buyout market for this season type of thing, a big guy that can both shoot threes and rebound and protect the rim. So I think we're in any pairing where you're trying to survive non-Embiid minutes in the playoffs, you are putting this guy with PJ Tucker and probably Tobias as well, and saying like go steal us 4 minutes here and there. And in those lineups, one of those big problems when it's PJ and Tobias and Niang or whoever is they're not rebounding. And so Kevin Love would help those lineups significantly. Would absolutely get targeted on switches. Theoretically, you'd be switching on everything in those lineups. So Kevin Love would get targeted on switches, and as much as his play in the finals when he contained Steph Curry on that like end of game play for the Cavs to win, he doesn't do that very often. That was many years ago at this point. It's crazy he's still in Cleveland from there to how much like turmoil and turnover. He's had a Korkmaz level of trade requests that have never gone met. I'd be interested in them. I like if there was a way to eat Trez's salary for next year and just go like we don't think he could possibly contribute.
It would be Dedmon or Paul Reed.
If they cut B-ball Paul, I'll set myself on fire. But I think that there's like Dedmon is also a good rebounder, and can pretend to be a shooter sometimes. At least he is like heard of shooting threes and does it sometimes. So I don't know how it'll look. Probably bad with the Sixers, but at least he's done it before. Kevin Love is a shooter that you have to go out on. So I wouldn't if the Sixers went into the playoffs with backup center options of B-ball Paul, Dedmon if he's rebounding and shooting threes, which who knows, maybe he's not. Kevin Love and then PJ Tucker. Like that is at least a 4 quarters that probably won't make up $1, but at least you're like, we have something there. Whereas Trez is, I just think there's just no world in which he's playable in any way whatsoever. I wouldn't mind Love. I don't like, obviously the point that like the team right behind the Sixers in the standings who needs shooting, the fact that he can't make it work with them, I think is a legitimate concern.
It's obviously weird. Yeah.
But sometimes
there could be a personality
change of scenery.
Thing.
Sometimes like they don't need, because Jared Allen is such a good rebounder and Evan Mobley is a good rebounder. Like they don't need rebounding as much as we do. So that's one skill set that they can live without, and it's really just he is not able to survive on defense with them. I think it would make the Sixers offense and rebounding, which rebounding is like a part of defense, and people don't really talk about it as much as it is, but like closing out possessions, how many times are the Sixers just like giving up extra point opportunities or just like getting out, not boxing out or getting out jumped or whatever it is. Kevin Love has a really good just feel for rebounding in a way that, most guys don't.
I just don't think he's playing instead of PJ Tucker or Tobias Harris at any point, and that's where the minutes have to come from, right? I mean,
well, I think it would come from instead of he'd be there. It depending on matchup, he would be the backup center with PJ Tucker.
Can't do it. He can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, he's not better than George Niang at this point as far as like what you're asking George Niang to do.
Yep.
And Tobias is, despite having a couple tough weeks or whatever, is still like a viable two-way player on this team. So it would be like if you don't trust Paul and Dedmon is washed.
Sure.
I'll never trust Trez. And then you go like, at least we get a guy with PJ that you can go like 5 out.
Yep.
And see if you can just like out offense them and switch everything. And at least if Kevin Love's on an island sometimes, then he'll get a rebound.
You just can't, if they cut Paul Reed for him, I'm gonna murder Maury.
Yes. And if they, yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Daryl.
You can't do it. That would be one of the worst things ever. We're in a stretch of B-Ball Paul being like the best, like being playable, being in the rotation. Doc is reasonably trusting him and dying for an excuse not to, and Doc's probably on some vacation over the All-Star break, and he's gonna forget who his backup center was and be like, it was Trez. It was the Trez the whole time, right? We'll go back to him. It can't happen. You can't cut B-Ball Paul and allow Trez to be on this team. Someone needs to just personally, like M. Night Shyamalan or Alan Horowitz, who said he's a 6-man guy, like, or like some real estate developer just has to offer, like, I will give you whatever 2.2 million that Trez is making next year to cut him right now, like, because it can't be those other guys. If it's Dedmon, that's fine, but I would rather it be Trez. If they
they won't do Trez because
I'm saying someone should offer to pay for that.
By the way, according to the official G League site,
no, I have no idea why it's different. I still don't trust it.
50% from 3.
I still don't trust it. It's not me counting myself. I'm not doing math wrong. I looked at the basketball reference site and it's wrong.
Last year he averaged 21.7 points, 6.7 rebounds, and 7.7 assists.
Totally. He's just not good. Yep. I swear to God. B-Ball Paul, what did B-Ball Paul shoot from 3 in the G League?
Wow, that's
we counting that?
Different story. He should be shooting more threes in the NBA.
Well, look, you're not going to find an argument from me there. He's not good. I wish he was, but he's not.
We had a question in the email bag for Coach Mike. Rights to Ricky Sanchez at gmail.com. Rights to Ricky Sanchez at gmail.com. Hi, guys. First time, long time basketball question. So my son is playing in a middle school rec league. This team has 7 players, but only 6 showed up to their last game. At the beginning of the 4th quarter, their center fouls out. Keep in mind, this is where most of their points come from. This is a big kid who can just put the ball in. Not a good basketball player, though. In a tight game with 30 seconds left in overtime, their second big fouls out. So now they have 4 players.
Oh, wow.
My son, who is unfortunately the best player on this ragtag team, sees the defense asleep and sprints down the floor with the ball, hitting a game-tying shot with 5 seconds left. However, while he was running, the first player who fouled out decided that he should go back in, and when the coach wasn't looking, just runs onto the court. The ref sees it, calls no basket, and a technical on our team.
Oh my God.
The other team hits free throws, and that was the game. So, Coach Mike, are you more upset that the kid fouled out or that he ran onto the court for reasons that cannot be explained? I was going to ask which Sixer would do this, but James Harden already did a version of it a few weeks ago, so that would be a redundant question.
No, absolutely. The kid running onto the court.
Unreal.
Is horrifying.
You got to cut him.
It's a little bit like, if this is like rec league middle school, is that what it is?
Yeah.
That the ref shouldn't have called a technical foul for it. It didn't impact the play. We're not seeing it. But assuming it was just like off in the distance, it didn't impact the play, then you should probably be like, all right, this lunatic kid, get him out of here. But the basket counts because it was separate from the play. But yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
There's some league rules where you go like, okay, we're going to still play with 5 guys and we'll just like it every time it's a foul on this guy, it's another technical foul or something like that.
But that's not what they did.
But that's not what they did. But yeah, that's a shame. If I was your son, I'd probably kill that kid.
We are not suggesting that happen.
No,
that is not.
I'm saying that's what I would do if I was 12.
How many times have I had to do
some
this?
big lug didn't understand the situation. I'm fucking putting the team on my back. He runs in.
I need to know what that kid was thinking.
No.
What was he thinking?
Not so good.
We have some great voicemails.
Should we talk really quickly about Embiid's injury and status for the All-Star game tonight?
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about LL first, and then let's talk about Embiid's fake injury and his drama queen thing that he's doing once again. LL Pavorsky was the first sponsor of the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast, and he's still fucking here. With over 310 Rights to Ricky Sanchez listeners purchasing engagement rings from LL Pavorsky. One Rights to Ricky Sanchez host purchasing an engagement ring.
Host / producer now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Mike has the. Oh, don't do that. That makes it look bad. What are you doing? This is the worst thing to ever happen, is Mike getting that sort of access.
And I can see CJ whenever I want.
Yeah. LL was the first sponsor of the Ricky. He's still here and is quite simply the third host of the pod who we've never allowed to host the pod, which I'm sure kills him. He's been in business in the same spot at 707 Walnut for over 3 decades now. But he does so not just because he pays rent there, which he does, but because he's excellent at his craft. Buying an engagement ring is a huge commitment, not just a commitment as far as getting married. That's a huge commitment. But the cost of an engagement ring is no fucking joke. No fucking joke. You need somebody who's going to take care of you, who's going to be patient with you, even though you're a weirdo and you're neurotic. Someone who's going to take time. LL Pavorsky does it by appointment only. Somebody who's going to treat you with respect, whether you're buying a ring for $1,000 or $100,000. LL Pavorsky is all of those things, also well-dressed, and just a kind, kind soul. We love him. You can't get an engagement ring from anybody else. 215-627-2252 is the phone number. Lee at llpavorsky.com is the email address. Or you can tweet at him at llpavorsky. Had a gem this morning about KJ McDaniels. Really just one of his best. And as I said, if you're going to get an engagement ring, you need to make an appointment. Also, a generous supporter of our charities, Providence Animal Center, Mama T's Community Fridge, LL Pavorsky Jewelers.
His lifelong dream to do the NBA dunk contest in a suit goes unfulfilled another year.
Kevin Love has gone to the Heat. So there you go.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. There's I've filled some time on the pod.
Good topic.
Yeah. So
he's going to shoot 57% from 3.
So Embiid in the presser after the final game before the break mentioned that he's not healthy. He's had a foot injury for a while. He may not go to the All-Star game. It felt to me like when that happened, it was sort of like his quiet protest of not starting the All-Star game.
Mm-hmm. If they don't want me, I don't want them.
Yeah. But the whole time I was like, there's no way he's not going. Of course he doesn't get there the night before. It's a great excuse to not hang out with everyone, which Embiid has no desire to do, and just show up for the game. I don't know, man. So many years of this.
Yeah.
Both a combination.
He said he hasn't been healthy for like 3 weeks or a month, right? Isn't that what he said?
Yeah.
I've actually never been healthy. That's a secret. Yeah, I mean, he does this.
I think if his foot doesn't hurt, but like
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I love him. Mm-hmm. I think that what I hope happens tonight is he plays like 4 minutes and then leaves. I think he wants to be like, I started another All-Star game. I'm there, and then doesn't. But he'll probably play like 26 and like try to do one crazy thing, and he'll like demand to be in at the end of a game when it gets serious. Mm-hmm. Because that's him. I just don't believe I meant to say this in the other pod, but like my favorite part of Joel's game is when he has like purposeful patience. Mm-hmm. Like he has grown from that. Think about like how much he forced it in those like Celtics and Raptors series from his first few years, and how he just feel like he was getting stymied and sort of like kept forcing it. And now he uses his strength so well, but without just barreling into people out of control. And then the reason he can do that is because he has crazy good footwork that allows him to like decelerate, which is insane for him, a guy that big to be able to do. And he's just so special. And I just kind of don't believe that if his foot was in that much pain or that unable to do anything, then he wouldn't be able to do like the crazy footwork stuff that he does. He likes to say this stuff, but I'm not saying he's not like, of course he's hurt. Everybody's hurt, but as long as it's not like a serious injury, like I'm not going to start getting scared. We've just been through this for too long with Joel.
Yeah, it's sort of like if you're that hurt, don't play in the All-Star game. Otherwise, I'm not going to believe you that it's anything serious, right? Yeah. So it's just so many years of this is just
He's actually just like, oh, I'm so busy, I might not show up. And it's like, okay, all right.
The Spotify question of the pod, under the podcast, you can see we ask a question every time that CJ thinks up. Last one was, how often do you wash your hair? We had discussed it in the filter in. I had made the stunning admission that I only wash my hair like once a month now. To be clear, as everyone has, there is hot water every day when I shower that I rinse my hair with. I just don't use shampoo.
Once a month is extreme. I've heard once a week. Once a month is pretty extreme. That's out there.
Yep. Now the different. Well, I'll get to that in a second. We have every 3 or 4 days from ZPBV Ball 20, every other shower, every day, once a week, never LOL from Dara, and Elite Poster says once a week, long hair though. So what, people tell me I'm disgusting, yada, yada, yada. Anybody with long hair, in my experience, the woman, my wife, like usually wash their hair once or twice a week because it's such a project. And I understand you saying, well, that's once a week. You're talking about once a month. But it's not like they're soaking their hair every other day like I am. I just want to be clear that there is like a lot of water, which the people who are only washing their hair once a week, many times they're not even putting water in it because it's such a project to dry it. Somebody said, would you wash dishes with just water? No. But also, I'm not eating off my hair. So the oils are healthy. Mike, we never got a real response from you. You did do your Q-tips joke. Are you an every time shampooer?
Pretty much every time, yeah. Sometimes I'll throw a conditioner in there to mix it up, and not do a shampoo sometimes. But yeah.
Yeah. So, like this guy, once a month for a guy who runs every day is incredibly foul. LOL. It's not. It's just not. Like I'm just telling you, it's not. It's not. Rights to Ricky Sanchez. Go ahead.
I was at I forget. I think this happened at a party I was at this weekend, and the topic of the podcast came up, and it was again like, is it just about the Sixers? Like it's like such a skeptical like. So it's just the Sixers is what that's all. And then just imagining them tuning in and being like, CJ's question of the Spotify, it's how often do you wash your hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Sixers podcast, yeah.
Rights to Ricky Sanchez at gmail.com. This comes from Jonathan. Hi, Spike, Mike, and other guy. My non-basketball question. My wife and I are expecting our second child this summer, a girl. She really likes the name Tatum. I also like the name, but I'm terrified that if the Celtics win a title with Jason Tatum, I'll think about it every time I hear the name.
You can't.
Wow, you're saying no.
You can't.
Wow.
You can't. No.
You're saying no on Tatum.
No on Tatum, yeah.
I don't know.
No on Tatum.
There are a lot of
Tatum.
names.
My friend dated a Tatum. Didn't go well, so that's an additional little carrot there. No, you can't do Tatum. No, maybe like if he had retired, but like while he's playing and is an active enemy, you can't. No, you can't be Tatum. There's so many other names. Pick another name.
Yeah, it's a good point. There are lots of names.
Yeah.
Name her whatever you want. 833 Lickface is the voicemail.
Hey guys, it's John from San Diego. Isn't it ironic that Dwayne Dedman's last name is Deadman? Okay, that's all I got. Thank you.
Yeah. A little first thought, but yeah, it's there. It's enough to be remarked on, and I'm glad we remarked on it in an email.
So I don't know that you remember this, but Dwayne Dedman at one point, much like you have the Vegas Mike song and we had the Trevelyan Queen song, we had a Dwayne Dedman drop.
We did?
We did. And here it is. I went and I grabbed it again. Here it is.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Turn me on, Mr. Deadman. There you go.
Yeah. And obviously Wilson Chandler, who played like he was dead, but was not his name.
They should re-sign him, sign Kevin Love, sign and put Love, Dedman, and Wilson Chandler all on the court at the same time.
I think that there's a real opportunity for money making for a league of backup centers for the Sixers that sucked. I think put him in a place, let him average like 75 and 62. Go against Dwight Howard, people go crazy. everybody make money.
This comes from Tim, writes Ricky Sanchez at gmail.com. Hi, Spike and Mike. Basketball question. How do you see Joel's game aging? We talk a lot about Harden, how Harden has changed and adapted later in his career, but what do you think that looks like for Joel? Also, if the Sixers, I don't want to do this. If the Sixers lose in the second round again, would you fire Doc for Ime Udoka? The first thing, Joel's game, if his body can stay playing, I feel like his game can age fine. That jumper, right? I mean, his game is not based on athleticism, I don't think, in any way, or not wholly based on athleticism.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways, like him being able to, slide his feet on the perimeter, obviously, is over the next few years and stuff. You're already starting to see in the regular season he kind of doesn't, and he's fine with it. When he turns it on in the playoffs, I think he can hold up more. But yeah, I think, knock on wood and everything, like he should age fine. Like he's an incredible shooter. He's an incredible mid-range shooter. He's a crafty player. He can get fouled a ton. He's going to still be tall, so it's not like he's 6'7" and pretending to be a center.
Wouldn't know anybody else doing that.
Couldn't name anybody else like that. But I do think like it'll be as we get later into his career, hopefully not for the next like 2 or 3 years, but as we get into like his mid-30s, it'll hopefully be like he takes more threes. He picks and chooses his spots when he's going to like turn it on. I mean, like think about, obviously this is a long call, but think about like Kareem with the Lakers. Like towards the end, it was Magic's team, but he was still an incredible player and useful and scoring and protecting the rim and everything. And just there were times when it was just like, okay, we don't need to like tax him like this. So yeah, I'm hopeful, and I would love nothing more than Joel and doing his whole career here, and him just being like an anchor for this team as a guy who can play good defense. It'll probably go down from like all NBA to just like regular good, and who can shoot and who can stretch the floor and can get to the line, and when they need him to, like, you have the matchup, you got to score 30 or whatever, then I think he will still be capable of doing that for some time. So it's a nice image to imagine him as the like steady veteran that can, while other people like do most of the work, and then he turns it on when he has to.
I don't get the sense, I don't think he doesn't like being in the NBA, but I don't get the sense that he loves it. I sort of wonder how long his career is going to be post prime, Yeah. He will have made hundreds of millions of dollars. Sure. So I do wonder that. The non-basketball question, are the Sixers the horniest team in the NBA? Doc with the Twitter porn hack, Daniel House with the sex bubble bullet, James Harden with the sex bubble sex, Daryl with the yoga pant obsession. Mm-hmm. Not sure if there is much more on the list here, but would seem to be a leader.
Well, Joel's has fucked. He is a kid. So that's pretty horny.
Yep. Yeah.
Nothing hornier than having children.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, it's it adds up. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else. Tobias just got married. Mm-hmm. Pretty horny thing to do.
Harden and Doc is a pretty horny combo. And then Daryl with the girls in yoga pant Twitter follow, which he hasn't backed off of in any way.
Maxie was just did you see Maxie in that commercial?
No. What commercial?
He was in a commercial for the Starry, the new Sierra Mist type thing. That was, if you didn't watch the 3-point contest was the Starry 3-point contest. So
okay, I sped through it.
Yeah. And Kiki Palmer was in that, so I wonder if, I think she's pregnant also, so maybe not. But interested to find out who Maxie starts dating in the future.
Matisse, if he's a sex guy too, like these other guys,
that'd be great.
Matisse
was cute, but also like pretty like sexless.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of Matisse, we got a voicemail.
I wonder. I wonder if there's a hornier team.
833 Lickface.
Hey, Spike and Mike. This is Tyler, longtime listener and longtime ignored caller. I was just listening to you guys talk about Matisse Thybulle and the fact that anybody who's saying that Doc Rivers underutilized him or didn't scheme to help him out. Within the first few seconds of Jalen McDaniels playing, he grabbed a rebound and he ran the floor and he made a layup. And I went, oh my God, in a way that was just, it was shocking. It was shocking to see somebody their brain didn't completely fry, just running a straight line from one end of the court to the other. The guy was a complete fraud. Like, he did one cool thing every now and then would all of a sudden, like, the reason that we lost against the Hawks was Ben Simmons passed up the dunk, but also he passed it to Matisse Thybulle, who couldn't make a dunk either and couldn't make free throws. So the guy sucks. I'm glad he's gone. Jalen McDaniels will score 6 points. It'll be nice. Thank you. Goodbye.
Matisse is definitely not the reason that they had lost that series. And he went one for just the line.
It was a nice jab. It was a nice
fine jab. Fine jab to take. Yeah, I mean, look, Jalen is definitely more normal.
Yeah.
And him catching a lob and attempting like several more. I think he's only like 2 for 4 on lobs, but me asking for a lob guy and Matisse to be a lob guy and Jalen being like, I can do it. He's definitely a more gifted offensive player. I just think that a better coach, when I'm excited to see what Matisse does in Portland just because I'm curious. And it would have been cool to see him in Golden State because playing off of those guys would have been crazy. Yeah, he should have been better offensively, and also I think Doc could have done a better job of finding ways to make him useful because he is a special kind of unique player. But I'm happy to have Jalen. He's been good.
We will end on this voicemail, 833 Lickface. I thought Mike would be particularly interested in the content of this one.
Hey guys, I was just wondering if you had seen that JJ Redick and Tommy's Old Man and the Three launched a newsletter, I think probably a little while ago, and I'm just seeing it, called A Farewell to Takes. But there's a section in every newsletter called Best Thing Tommy Ate This Week.
Oh my God.
It's so funny, where Tommy just shares his favorite thing he ate this week. I'm currently reading one about some lobster and crab crepes that Tommy enjoyed, and I really just needed you to know about it. Okay, bye.
Mike, your thoughts? I know we haven't talked about Tommy in a while, but
the perfect call.
The section of the newsletter that is about the best thing Tommy Alter ate.
I didn't see that. I didn't know that.
Lobster.
Tommy is doing an impression of himself for me specifically, despite the fact that we have never met or interacted at all.
Yep. Lobster and crab crepes.
For a cool $110 at this obnoxiously named restaurant. Oh my God. That's great. Thank you. Thank you to that caller. That's perfect. That's excellent to know about. What a relatable, great thing. What a relatable, great thing for, hey, this guy who has a job that we don't know what it is and we don't know why he has it. But he's here. And let me also tell you what rich food he's eating. Like, great. Great. Perfect.
So we will have a special guest on the pod in our next pod.
What's he eating? Who gives a shit? JJ Redick, one of the best shooters of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know you don't, I think an excellent on television. Doing a great job.
Insufferable dickhead, just like he was as a player.
I think he's doing such a good job. I have no reason to be lying.
I think
he's doing a great job.
I don't think that you're lying.
And then to have your guy, who's just the guy that people know, they're putting out a newsletter, and it's the best thing that he ate. The best thing that he ate. Remarkable. I'm really happy for him. I'm so excited. I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to subscribe and get really mad.
We have there's a couple things coming up this week. One, the Live Ricky 5 pre-sale is Wednesday morning at 10 a.m.
Special guest Tommy Alter.
Of course, B-Ball Paul will be there. Eliza Hardy-Jones, Mutlu will be there. We'll continue to announce different things. You have to sign up for the newsletter to get the pre-sale password, rightstorickysanchez.com/newsletter. Second thing, we have a very special guest on our next pod. I don't know. We won't say who it is, but a very special guest. Drop Wednesday morning or late Tuesday night. We haven't decided yet, but we'll drop that. Will not be live. Will not be live. And I would like to wish my former employer, well, still same company, WIP. They start their new lineup on Monday. Angelo retired on Friday after 33 years, an excellent run. Joe DeCamera and John Ritchie, along with James Seltzer and Ray Hughes in mornings. Just the idea of somebody besides Angelo hosting a morning show on WIP is amazing. Very proud of those guys for getting that. Proud of Joe Giglio. For now, we'll be in middays with Hugh Douglas, former Eagle, and always proud of my guys, John Marks, Ike Reese, Jack Fritz, who will still be in the afternoons. But brand new lineup at WIP. It is wild to see all those guys moving up. Very proud of all of them.
I wonder what the best thing all of them ate this week was.
Yeah, do you think it was a lobster crepe?
It certainly could be.
When I once went to spring training with Joe DeCamera, he had never eaten a strawberry before. We had him eat a strawberry and didn't know what a mango was.
Okay.
Yeah. So probably not eating a lobster and crab crepe, I guess is my...
Or only eating those.
Yes, right.
Which doesn't include mango or strawberry.
We'll talk to you next time. Mac McClung, meaningful minutes.
No, I wish I could. I wish I could get there.
We'll talk to you next time. Are you down with TTP?
Yeah. You know, like face.